All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for episode 52. I have to look every time with Julia Brown from Telescope Advisors. And I did not prepare her bio from AI today. PK did. So hopefully you told it to keep it short this time.
Yeah, I told it 45 seconds max. All
Okay.
right,
Feels like
I'm
a lot.
going
All right, let's go.
to go. It's probably going to take longer for me to read it just because I'm a slow reader, but here we go. Julia Brown is the founder and principal of Telescope Advisors, a boutique firm helping companies in mortgage, finance, real estate, title, and insurance bridge the gap between vision and execution. With more than 16 years in the mortgage industry, she's seen it from nearly every seat and licensed loan officer, national LO onboarding lead, operations and tech leader, and manager of post LOI M&A integrations. She founded Telescope to help companies grow without losing cohesion, especially through acquisitions where good people and value too often get lost. Julia partners with founders, CEOs, executive teams during high growth seasons to bring clarity to complex change, clear owners, priorities, and timelines that stick. She also hosts the Microscope podcast and was named 2026 Housing Wire Rising Star. All right. How'd that
Not
do?
bad, AI.
Okay. I gave
How
it,
did it
I
do?
gave it your whole about section on LinkedIn. I'm like, here's more information. um, wait, can we
I
before we?
feel I
Oh,
was
go.
going to make it a point to give Julia shit for not having ever seen our show. And then you just mentioned that she has a podcast, and now I can't throw shade because I've not seen hers yet.
Julia, before we get started, do you want to actually do the definition behind telescope? I think you have a cool story
Oh,
there.
it's cool. It's cool. I like moral philosophy. Like, I don't know. It's a nerdy thing, but I like moral philosophy. And Aristotle had coined this phrase, which was telos, and telos means one's highest aim or greatest purpose. And it could be like an inanimate object or like a human being. And throughout the course of my career, I was always like, what's next? What's next? What's next? Like, how do I really achieve the thing? I would be in sales and they would be like, oh, you're really good at sales, stay in sales. And then I'd go to ops and they'd be like, oh, you're really good in ops, stay in ops. And like, you climb the ladder and figure things out. And there's like cool things that you can enjoy about any position you're in, I think. At least for me, that was the case. But eventually I started doing these M&A integrations and managing like people and complex projects. And to me, that felt like my aha moment of like, this is my highest and best use. I want to do this over and over again, and to do it for the entire industry and not just a single company that has an interest in M&A in this moment in time. So Telos, there's a couple of companies called Telos already that exist actually in the M&A space. Weirdly enough, I don't know if they have the same love for that word that I do, or if it was just happenstance, but I didn't want to get sued. A couple of them were law firms. And so we came up with Teloscope, which is spelled incorrectly intentionally.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great minds
Yeah.
think
So
alike.
it is. I've loved to watch your journey, Julia. So PK, I've known Julia for, I'm guessing it would probably be 10 years now.
Yeah, a decade.
Whenever I worked with her, she was a loan officer. And I remember then just like, then I, like you just said, like, and she's like, oh, she's like head of ops now. And then now she's over here doing this. I'm just like, all over the place. Like, it's like, I don't like the Julia Brown that I know. I remember just like, she was just a
That's
loan
awesome.
officer that got pushed into, hey, you need to know Encompass now. And it's
Yeah.
That's a good
been a long
compliment.
time.
I have a question. If this is
Yeah.
episode 52, does that make it your 1-year anniversary? Are these weekly?
Ooh, I think we've missed a week or two. So
Okay.
I mean, we had our 1 year anniversary, I think like a month ago, maybe like a month and like maybe like 6 weeks ago.
didn't we have Brian View on or Greg Share on that? Or I think we had Brian View for the second time.
Greg. I think it was Brian.
Okay.
Greg's funny though. Julia, you're a runner.
I like to run. Yeah.
What's the one behind you?
Detroit full marathon. That
Okay.
was the best. It's international. So you go into Canada and they do
Okay.
check your passport when you go through Canada. I always joke that like slowed my time down. I would have probably had a much faster time if not.
You actually run through Canada?
Yeah. So like the way it works is there's like the Ambassador Bridge, which goes over the water, and it's uphill, and that's how you start. So like miles 2 through 4 or something are like running over this bridge at the sunrise. It's gorgeous. And then you run around Canada, and then you run back under the underwater tunnel.
Oh, wow.
US. And that was terrible. Like, honestly, like every fear of mine activated by running underwater in like a hot, steamy tunnel for a couple miles. Yeah.
How do you even train for that?
Just like any other marathon. I kind of feel like when Mario goes underwater. Remember when we used to play like Mario back in the day? Super pixelated and he goes underwater. Like that's kind of how it felt.
I didn't play much video games. I feel like Chris was going to make a Zoomer joke there.
What? You didn't play video games?
I had really bad hand-eye coordination, so I just went outside and played like on my bike.
Well, that's cool too. There's merit in that. There's life skills there for sure.
Yeah.
You put me in front of the video game.
Touch grass. That's better. Meanwhile, I was the 1995 Blockbuster champ for Donkey Kong Country.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Is that like something you play in store, like a tournament?
Yeah, you had to go into the store because this was no online stuff back then.
Yeah.
And I actually was like, there's a below 13 category and an above 13 category, and I beat both. And it was pretty funny. I was super nerding. Like whenever I would play, like I'd get a crowd. They'd be like, I was super nerd.
Signs.
Well, so Julia, give us the quick origin story. Andrew always makes this. We all say nobody grows up saying they want to be in mortgage. So how did you get sucked into this mafia business where you can't get out?
Oh, totally. I took an aptitude test in 7th grade, and it said I should be a clown of all things. Hand to God. My first interest, I wanted to own an ice cream truck. I wanted everybody like smiling when they saw me at all times and like making them feel good, giving them ice cream. And then 7th grade came, and my aptitude test legit said I should be a clown. And when my parents saw that, they were like, no, we're going to fix this. You're going to be a pharmacist. So I actually went to pharmacy school.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, no. They were serious. They were like, no, you can't be a clown. You can't drive an ice cream truck. You're going to be a pharmacist. You'll make good money. You won't have to work hard. You won't have to think. You don't have to really interact with people. Like, here you go in the fluorescent basement. Enjoy, your life. And I went along with it for a long time. And then midway through schooling, I was like, this is not for me. This is not aligned with who I want to be when I grow up. So I switched to public administration. I wanted to be a public service attorney, and got accepted to law school. The student loans were insane. I didn't want to take out that much in student loan debt. So I moved back to Metro Detroit, where I'm from. It was as everything was collapsing, and I found a job doing foreclosure prevention counseling in Southwest Detroit. And it was like right as all the big three were getting bailed out. And a lot of the people I worked with were like in a house where they owed $90,000 and it was worth $30,000, and their interest rate was 8%, and they couldn't refinance. There was nothing to do. The husband lost his job, or is like a grandparent who retired, did the forced buyout, and they've got their kids and their grandkids all living in this one house, and trying to figure out how to make ends meet and putting together budgets for them. And so anyway, I did that for a while. And one day, one of my clients who had a really good shot at a modification had a sheriff sale happen over the weekend. And again, this was before you would have mortgage clients call you on your cell phone, right? So I walk into the office one Monday morning, I'm bright and cheerful and happy and ready to crush the day. And I just have this voicemail of this client just sobbing on the phone as there's a sheriff sale happening at her house. And I was like, okay, I got to be able to help catch this sooner. So what could I do? So I work in Metro Detroit. So I applied for a job at Quicken Loans, now Rocket, and started as an LO at Rocket a couple weeks later. Worked there for a few years. At the time, I was in school actually for a master's in urban planning. I love urban planning. I think society is really cool. I like social justice. I like people. So anyway, I was going to do that. And then I was making a ton of money at Rocket at a young age, for that age and for that economic environment. And then, mortgage just stuck from there. Worked at UWM and then relocated to Columbus and worked at Lower for a decade.
Fascinating. What's a sheriff sale for someone who doesn't know what that is, aka me?
Oh, okay. So if you're behind on your mortgage payments and let's say you're behind on your property taxes, they're do come and do an auction on your house.
They would kick you out.
What'd you say?
Would they literally kick you out? Oh
Yes,
my gosh.
That's what the sheriff's there for.
I
Get your
see.
stuff, put it in the bags, bring it out. It's now going to belong to somebody else by the end of the day.
Does that still happen nowadays?
Yeah, and it shouldn't be a surprise. Like in this case, it was a mixed bag of like the person was in denial, and we did have an active application for modification that was under review with the servicer. Like, and we didn't have like any tax lien heads up. So,
Gotcha.
That's a
Fascinating.
bummer. And I also think it's funny because they thought you wouldn't interact with people and it'd be low stress job. But man, every time I go to Walgreens, I'm like, these pharmacists look so stressed out. Like everybody seems stressed.
yeah, everybody seems stressed.
Like nobody's just like relaxing and happy. Like it's all.
No, nobody's listening to like Smash Mouth and getting Corvettes as signing bonuses anymore. It's not the 90s. Get out of here.
I have a question. So when you were at UWM, was UWM kind of like this big behemoth that it is now?
No, it was itty bitty. I was at UWM in 2014.
14. Okay.
I don't want to fire shots. This is a casual podcast, right?
Yeah. Podcast.
Like UWM was where you went if you were a salesperson at Quicken Loans who got burnt out and wanted like the promise of better life balance.
Got it.
And it was like, it was fine. It was like a base salary of $23K. Like, we'll give you some broker accounts, see what you make of them. And then, you know, if the brokers start producing, we'll give you the worst performing broker accounts. If you can get them to send us business, then you get some commission kickbacks. Like that was how it was structured. So
got it. So you were at AE.
I was an AE. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. So you really have done everything.
Yeah.
No, wait. No, you were a clown. Sorry. Just kidding.
Shots fired back.
No, I love my AE at UWM before. I think we're still friends on Facebook.
So at what point?
Like a really high like sign of respect for you, right? Like the Facebook threshold to become friends with you is
yes, and
we're 10
you're
years
in that
in.
group.
We've known each other for a decade and we became Facebook friends last night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not friends with PK, so that just goes to show you where we're at here.
We just call each other once a week or twice a week. Okay, another question. So when you were at Rocket or Quicken back then, was Quicken the behemoth, and at least from a technology perspective, were they like as dialed in as they are today?
When I was at Quicken was a market taker, and they weren't public. We were shooting for 6 billion the year that I left. Our goal was 6 billion. So to give you perspective, like they were not who they are today by any means, but their technology at that time was still better than a lot of the companies that I've supported in the last 36 months.
Okay. And what's your favorite ism?
What you focus on, you find.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's my favorite
Okay,
ism.
I'm gonna sound real dumb. What is the ism?
Julia, do the honors.
They're like core values. When I was at Quicken Loans, I think there were like 19 of them. A lot of them. Like we eat our own dog food, or what you focus on, you find.
Got it.
And actually, that one's like a core belief of mine to this day.
I like the one. It's like I think it's like the inches around us or something like that. I forget how it goes, but it's like there's problems all around us, and so we just got to keep finding them. And then like I don't know, I forget how. I'm gonna have to look it up, but I'll find it here in a second.
Are we live? Like, could people like reply in and say what the isms they know are? I feel like
sometimes we have a lot of people in, sometimes we don't. I think it depends on summertime. It depends on did you know what our motto is here, PK? Did I ever tell you?
No. Get shit done.
Innovations is build cool shit and have fun doing it. That's
like
it. Like
interests we need are everywhere around us. We're all empowered to find the opportunities to make an impact everywhere, one inch at a time. These interests all add up to greatness. I like that one.
I like that too. Mace, can I get that again? We build cool shit and have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because we've pivoted a number of times, and it's just like we've got such an elite small team. I'm like, we could go build doors and crush that industry if we wanted to. But I don't think it's that fun.
Also, working with great people, I think you guys do a good job about that.
Yeah, we have a small team. We've done over 36 interviews, and we've hired one person. my track record is just steal people. Julia knows I stole Sean, I stole Leanna from PRMI, I stole Derek from Academy. Like once you meet awesome people, you just say, "You want to come over here?"
Yeah. So how big is the team today?
Today's just 5 of us.
It's 5.
I don't want to be any bigger either. Just happy. So Julia, 36 months. That means you have been in the telling. I guess that's how long you've been doing Telescope.
No, Telescope's going to be 2.
Okay.
In September. Will be 2
Okay.
in September. Yeah.
All right. So tell us, what are you primarily doing? I know I had the bio. The bio is the AI written thing, but like, what is the Julia? What are you mostly working on today?
So I work with a lot of startups or turnarounds. That's the first thing. Most of my clients are either startups or turnarounds. A lot of them are going through periods of complex change. So I have folks on my team who are like Six Sigma certified project managers who can come in and help with complex change management. And so there's like an executive relations piece, which is usually me, but it depends on what kind of project the company is going through. And then we do the facilitation of like the heavy lifting for like moment in time projects where you're not going to like staff a department permanently for an M&A you're doing once, right? But if you're doing an M&A once, you can't really successfully staff it with people who A, have never done it, and B, have a full-time job already. So that's where like we come in and support. It's kind of a staff aug model for complex change. And that's where we spend a lot of our time today.
Got it.
Like a framework that you approach all of this stuff with, or like what's like typically the first 30 days look like when you start a project?
So it depends on the project. But I would say like EOS is the model that we run with a lot of our clients. Unless it stands for Entrepreneurial Operating System. There's a book called Traction by Gino Wickman. It's really popular with smaller companies. And so we will introduce that and establish that if it makes sense to. Otherwise, like if it's a moment in time project we're coming in to support, we generally meet with key stakeholders. If it's an M&A deal, we meet with buyer and seller, figure out what the value drivers of the deal are for all parties. And then we come up with, here's our implementation plan, here's our roadmap, here's the steering committee, here's where we're delegating authority to internal team members, how we're going to work with them, how we're going to give feedback and the report out cadence for the board, depending on whether it's publicly held or privately owned. And then we just stick with them until about 80% of the project is complete, at which point, usually 6 to 9 months in, depending on the project, we'll say, here's where we're at. We're on pace or off pace. Like, this is what we're facing. We can give it to the internal team. We think they can handle it from here on out. Or we'll stick with you a bit longer until we get to the next milestone, depending on what they need and what's best for the business.
And I guess like change management, I feel like this industry, there's a lot of that needed, but also it's kind of like where a lot of the resistance is.
Yeah.
How do you I don't know. I feel like that's a very taxing job to be in. And so like, I guess like, how do you think about that? Like, what are your thoughts around change management in this industry?
Essentially, adoption is piss poor in our industry in general, unless there's not a choice, except you have to adopt to move forward. And that's hard, especially in the mortgage space where originators, like in an IMB space, for instance, like originators, especially top originators, have so much of a say-so. So it's really not dictating to people how it's going to be. It's getting people to come along with you for their benefit. Like, jokingly, if you look at like the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy wasn't like, hey, Tin Man, I want to go home to Kansas, so come to the Emerald City with me, right? She was like, oh, you want a heart? I bet the wizard could do that. Want to go with me to Emerald City? Right? So that is like how I approach change management similarly.
Gotcha.
I think it's hilarious that I think I told you this recently, PK, because, we are, I would say, well, PK and other people have said it, so I can say it's not me, but we are at the forefront of, PK says, even people in San Francisco can't do what Mason Innovations does, and we've actually done work for him. We've done work for giant teams and shown the development staff what we do. And, it got 29 developers and we can do it in 2 days, what takes them 2 months, right? Mm-hmm. And we've had all these tech bros talk shit about mortgage people and say, you don't adopt change. You don't know what you're doing. Like, oh, underwriters don't want to do change, blah, blah, blah. Now we have programmers that are handing AI agents and all these new ways of coding. And they're like, I don't want to do that. I like to handwrite my code. AI is bad. And I'm like, now it's on their foot and they're all whiny little. Yeah, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
PK knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep. Go ahead, Julia.
I actually met with a CEO of a mortgage company recently who said something similar. He is like, I don't like our CRM. I spun up my own CRM. It didn't take me very long. I used AI and then I gave it to my product team and I was like, okay, like now make it SSO and like, SOC 2 compliant and like, let's get it into production. And they were like, whoa. Like, this is going to take us months. He's like, no, like it doesn't get to take you months. Like, let's go.
Yeah. I've been just handing off. It's surprising how many people in this industry hate their CRM. So I'm like, hey, Chris, talk to them.
Oh yeah, we're spinning them up left and right. We have a platform where you can go build your own. Like we have it integrating with voice AI agents and like all the like it's doing interacts with like they don't know how the hard parts work, Julia, but it'll show pricing from OB right here. They don't know what it does, but we have all the back end, so it'll just pull rates or show this or pull this loan from Encompass. And so the CEO, the users on the other product team is actually skipping tech completely and just going and they're doing the product and typing it. And then we are doing the compliance and the security, the SOC 2, the hardened, the multi-factor authentication, all that stuff. But it's been fun to see people, we have one project, this company, these guys have made over 2,000 changes. So like, and that's like commit. So like they do a lot of stuff, then commit like, yeah, let's release this. And so they've done, we've got like 5 or 6 going also right now, but it is fun. Like when people are like, I stayed up till 2:00 in the morning programming and working on this, like, check it out. And it's exciting times.
Yeah.
I've seen too, like we have a mutual client who started working with Mace on a project 6 months, a year, maybe even a year ago, almost a year ago now. And yeah,
he's done his own thing too.
Yeah. But the results come so fast. You're right. Like,
we can say Dan Smakoska on this, right? Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah. Dan Smakoska. He's crushing it out here.
Crushing it with catch.
In my head, I'm like, who are they talking about? Fascinating. I have a question. It's kind of a little nerdy, but like, Julie, you were talking about the Wizard of Oz example there.
Uh-huh.
I see this more so in wholesale because that's kind of the space that I live in. But I guess it kind of also applies to traditional like IMBs where they hire just LOs directly. But mortgage companies, I feel like maybe this is my misunderstanding, so you can correct me. But it seems like they're kind of like beholden to the LOs and the AEs, and they don't really have like true like enterprise value in the sense that they don't own their necessarily their distribution.
It depends.
Yeah. So can you add some color there?
Do you want to jump in, Mace?
I think we're going to say the same thing, but I want to hear you first.
So what I'm hearing from you is like the broker shops, right? Like it feels like they're beholden to their salespeople on the brokerage side. Is that what you're saying?
The wholesale lenders, like think UWM, maybe maybe UWM is different now, but like at least back then, it sounds like it was like the AEs were like drove a lot of the influence in terms of like, hey, if like an AE leaves, your relationship with that, maybe the 50 or 100 broker shops you had kind of is essentially dead because now nobody else owns that relationship. And so you're kind of beholden to the AE being able to bring in that business versus like, just getting the business because your products are great and blah, blah, blah.
It depends. I do feel like there is like an element of this, like your tech can outpace your AEs when it comes to relational equity if you are UWM or if you're a Rocket.
Right.
If you're on the smaller side, but you have really great delivery, maybe your tech's like middle of the road, but like an eLend, for instance, or like a Power TPO, like great people across every role, not just the A's, but like across every role within the org, willing to bend over backwards or into a pretzel to get your deal done. Yeah, they'll stay with you. Like more likely, I think, is if you have an AE who's got really strong relational ties that are going to pick up and move their group of loan officers. Now maybe you get a smaller piece of the pie, but you're still probably coming to the table and leaving fairly full.
Gotcha.
Mace, what do you think?
No, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I think it depends, right? Like, and it doesn't apply to brokers only. It applies to, like Julia was talking before, like, she's been in, I know that she worked at a net branch model on the home side. There's a difference between direct to consumer and your net branch model where, you are only as good as your branches. And so what you'll see a lot of times is an acquisition that takes place with a lot of super bonuses to keep LOs there, or the CEO comes on board for a long enough time and he's got claws in because and I think this applies to not only a mortgage too. It's just like an insurance company. This guy's got a insurance book of business, right? So, but the direct to consumer kind of model is one where you can just hey, this is how you do it, right? A net branch model, you're like, all right, we're gonna roll this out, and then your two biggest producers will be like, You're like, okay, well, maybe we're just gonna kind of, well, just kidding. You just kind of do a little standoff, and that's kind of how compliance worked too in 2009. When I remember the new Dodd-Frank came out, I had to worry about my branches that were saying, well, the company down the street is letting them price the old way. There's just companies that were just flat out, we're not going to listen to the LO comp rules. And so they were still letting them manipulate pricing. And so we were like, and then more kept saying that, and they kept threatening. And then you're like, you're having to make moral decisions of like, they all leave, this company goes under, or I let them do some stuff that is technically out of compliance, basically unlawful, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that right there is, and it impacts tech decisions, PK. I think Fairway has every CRM, every POS, every pick your poison. And some models like PRMI, they do that too. And I've also seen what's really interesting is whenever certain companies have come to the realization that they are beholden to a few top producers, are like, you know what, we're going to start a direct to consumer division. And that usually goes pretty bad. It's kind of hard to, compete with your own branches. It's definitely one that I think takes some navigating, as Julia is probably aware as well.
At Lower, when we were Homeside. Well, first we were AmeriHome, and then we were Homeside, and then we were Lower. And part of the reason they brought the brand, there's a guy named Matt Cash who's a brilliant marketing guy. And he was like, we need differentiation. We don't want two pre-approval letters with different interest rates and monthly payments on them. One coming from, local retail loan officer, and one from the consumer direct brand. So it started off where Lower was just the consumer direct brand, and the retail brand within the company stayed Homeside for years before everyone transitioned into one brand. But there are a lot of ways that companies try to manage that. And I do think that there are absolutely different strengths for each channel. If you can thread the needle and have both channels, it helps you when refis are up and purchases are slow, or vice versa. It makes you a little bit more bulletproof, right? But there's definitely some political jockeying that happens when you have those multiple channels too.
Fascinating.
I love when you say fascinating, PK. You're really fluffing me up. I feel very intelligent in that.
Well, I just don't know as much, so I'm curious.
It's always, I love talking with PK, Julia, because he's 28 years old and is just a sponge. And he's just like, so I was meeting with this person and meeting with this person. He's just LinkedIn, I want to schedule meetings with everybody. And then he says that I red pill him a lot, because we'll have conversations where he's like, I thought it was this way. And then I give him the red pill from the Matrix, where he's like, and I'm like, no, behind the scenes. And then I talk the truth about, we're not going to go that savage in this podcast, but I'm like, here's how it really works. And he's man, he's fascinating.
Mace, are you Gen X or are you millennial?
I'm considered a millennial.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 millennials and a Zoomer on the call.
Zoomer.
I think PK's Gen Z, right?
Yeah, so it's called Zoomer.
Oh,
Z for Zoomer.
Okay. Wow. See, I'm millennial is showing.
Yeah, I'm a Zoomer too.
That's funny. All right. We always talk about AI. So,
no, before we go to that, hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
Just the M&A process, you said 6 to 9 months.
Yeah.
Would you say that's kind of a standard?
The work's not done, but you should have probably 80% of the work that needs done.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better, because, we just had an exit. I don't know if you saw that. And it was with Stewart Title. It was a publicly traded company. And they had an M&A department, and it was just like, all right, here's your data room. And it was just like, it's like, obviously I'm not going to can't give details, but I thought it took a long time, and it was interesting to hear that it actually wasn't too long. So
How long did it take?
about 6 months.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
A win.
It's a big win.
Yeah. What changed?
We sold just one of the products that we have. I think you've seen it before. Was the workflow product for Encompass.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still around. We just switched gears, and now we're doing the AI game. So
Love it. Cool. Yeah, no, you're in good shape then. Like I've done now not just mortgage, but home healthcare and insurtech M&A deals I've done integrations on. And I think 9 months is like the right number where everything's stabilized enough and you've gotten most of the work through, where depending on how many people you're moving, how much process is changing, compliance, technology, that's the range where it's safe to transition it away.
I thought it was also interesting, like how much it was like, you really don't have any debt? Like none at all. None. I'm like, no. Like anytime I get an invoice, we pay it. And it's like, okay, you really don't have this? Like, you really don't have this? Like you could tell they're looking for, they've had to have some, yeah, all the dirt comes out.
Yeah.
The skeletons come out.
Where the bodies are buried.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you move into the AI chat, PK.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, what are you? I guess
my screen's gonna be a little shaky. I'm gonna mute it or stop for a second while I go get power because I'm about to die.
I guess it's 3-part or 2-part maybe. One is, what is your personal AI usage looking like, and what are you kind of leveraging tools for? And then we can kind of go into what you're seeing lenders do today, and then kind of maybe like the future of AI plus mortgage. But yeah, maybe let's just start off with, like, I guess, how has AI changed your life, and like what are you doing differently today compared to 36 months ago?
Oh, I was like an early adopter of AI. I feel like from an LLM perspective, I was like, yes, give it to me. I want to know. So something like I have done and then swung away from is using AI for writing. Like I can spot. And people will say, there are people like I interviewed like Michelle Berman Michael on Microscope like a couple months ago. She's like, if your AI is good enough, no one will know it's not you because you can train it to be just like you. And I'm like, yeah, I can tell when you write with AI. Like I still can tell. Like if you are familiar enough with using AI, you can tell when something is AI written. Yeah. And I think you can use AI to support a hypothesis or like give you additional data to back up your opinion. But I still feel like there's a lot of value in like authentic human communication. And so something I used AI for early on was for help with writing. Like, hey, here's this email that I have to the CEO that I'm trying to close this deal with. Tell me how they would read it. Here's the person that it is. Go research them, figure out like, what's their Enneagram type and their Myers-Briggs, and like, tell me how to do this. How do I like manipulate a yes out of this?
Yeah.
And like, I have completely stopped doing that. And I just have a lot more conversations. And I think that was a confidence thing for me early on. Was like, it's easier to like send a perfectly crafted email and like cross your fingers for a yes than like negotiate in real time. But I still do use it for like checking contracts. And I have like there's like a AI, like a legal AI specifically that I use for contracts to help make sure that my contracts that I write are balanced and within the range of norms. There are a lot of companies who have good products out there in the mortgage space. Like Tierra Verde's got one that I really like that they just put out, COE, and there's like an AI functionality there for business management analysis. So there's COE, COHI, I think. But there's a lot. Like we were talking about like CRMs, like custom proprietary CRMs that are AI driven. There are a lot that I'm seeing lenders start to adopt or use. I think using AI to figure out what refi opportunities there are in a pipeline is like a fine use of AI, especially if it can like call out independently and just give you people who are interested to talk to you. But then I also feel like I see some things that are not being used as much as they could be. Like, why aren't we using AI for guideline support? Why do we still have like an underwriting scenario desk everywhere we go?
This is too bad Andrew's not on here for this part of the pod. I don't even know how to pitch Andrew's thing, but Andrew does some of that stuff with Ask Bob. We'll have to tell him to talk to you afterwards.
Yeah, tell them I have clients where
And
I'm
what's
like,
also fascinating is that's such an easy use case that Andrew gives it away for free.
yeah, it's crazy.
Like,
Especially all
yeah, I find it fascinating.
There's so many companies that have Zendesk and they have the AI agent support from Zendesk and they just haven't turned the functionality in or on, and they have like thousands of tickets that have already been solved for that you could quickly scrub and see if there have been any changes to the guidelines or if these are still valid responses. Like you could scrub it so fast and just put it into play. And then loan officers or processors could get answers at night and on the weekends and not have to be paying highly compensated underwriters for it. But
so
on there yet.
Chris and Andrew know that I'm kind of a boomer when it comes to like support and like I just want to talk to a person. I don't like talking to chatbots and stuff like that. And yesterday I was on Intercom because we use Intercom for our support on our platform, and I got like a notification that hey, like my bill was going to go up by like 10 times or whatever. And so I was like, this is kind of weird. So I started like going through the support docs through it. And I hit they have this thing called Fin, which is like their new like AI agent product, which basically it's like an agent that answers all kinds of questions and stuff like that. And I was actually, so I click on there. I'm like, talk. I want to talk to a human, right? I click on it, and then it's like, okay, what's your problem? I'm like, okay, so I described my problem and I gave it all the information, and then it just answered the thing. It didn't connect me to a human, but like the answer it gave was so high quality, and then it also like provided screenshots of the exact screen that I needed to use, and like the answer was like perfect. And I was like, okay, well, in that case, this is actually faster and better than talking to a human. And so it was like the first time where I'm like, okay, these things are finally getting good enough where you could actually use it for like, complex things. And it was a kind of a complicated subscription type of question. I wanted to know if certain features would be included. And like, I remember about 6 months ago or maybe a year ago when I first set up Intercom, those questions were not answerable through like their chatbots. I would have to like email them and actually confirm and things like that. So this time it just answered it like within seconds. It was kind of mind blowing. So I'm sure we'll see more of those type of experiences. And I know Chris has done some work with help desk type of ticketing systems as well.
Yeah, that's been another one that we've been slaughtering, Julia, is like Zendesk, just getting rid of it. And like we have companies that like was running itself. They run on Zendesk. I'm sure you may have seen like they don't do emails. Everything is a ticket, and even underwriting and all that. And so we got rid of Zendesk, and they had like texting, categories, routing, SLA, all the complexities of Zendesk, and we did it in May, and it was live in April. And one of the things it does is like, April. It started in April and finished in May. Yeah. But it was live in production, but because they were like, our Zendesk contract is up May 1st. Can you get this done? It was like April 11th, and we were like, dude, we better be on it. And it's pretty awesome. But I do think it's funny. One of the things that I've had to convince my wife to do that she's watched me do is I tend to find better results from AI by using the talk. So instead of trying to type out my thoughts, literally start talking, and it'll get what you're trying to do. It'll much better than you're gonna overthinking your prompt and you're trying to, but just vibe, just like start talking. And like, I don't know, I seem to get much better results. Like I built an app yesterday. I'm actually want to show it here later, but I was trying to explain mortgage to my sister-in-law, and then I uploaded her rate spread, and I had it make 2 sliders, and she drug the mortgage payment down and the closing costs went up, and she drug the closing costs down and the mortgage payment went up, and then it showed her break-even number of years, and she's like, oh, I get it. And I was like, that's all you needed, but anyway.
I wonder what all this means for like the Salesforces and Zendesk of the world in 18 months. 24 months, 36 months. What does it look like?
I have a different take.
Yeah, most people get to needle in with our software and what we've been doing. We find people like they're like, oh shit! Like I want to. They started with like an alternative to Banking Bridge, and so they have their agents they built this cool agent platform. PK seen it, and then they were like, whoa. like, I'm getting rid of Zendesk, I'm getting rid of my appraisal management software, and they just started going crazy. So I think it'll be the ones that kind of find the good partners, right? And I think more and more people, like 24 months from now, it's going to be an interesting space. Like, I don't see Base Innovations ever making software again that you can't talk to and customize it yourself. Like, I don't want to see any more.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll put that on our roadmap. Like, we do stuff for Claire Barber. She made a great post the other day where she was like, we didn't put it on our roadmap. We put it in production because we're the platform behind her. And so she was like, this feature that the previous client, Claire, shout out, they're like, her previous vendor took 90 days to do. And like, we were like, well, we can't go live without this, Claire. And so we just did it that night. And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Claire does law stuff, right? Like mortgage law.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Texas attorney review.
Talking about Barber. Julia, sorry, I'm dropping in here with 15 minutes.
Hi.
Yeah, how are you?
Good to see you.
Okay, now two millennials, a Zoomer and a Boomer, are on a.
Gen X. I'm Gen X. Don't mess with us. We're a very angry generation.
I thought Mace was Gen X, and like you missed this part. I thought Mace was potentially Gen X.
No.
It's a little it's the gray.
He's way too nice and happy.
Actually, I think when I met Julia, I still had hair.
That's funny because I just assumed Chris has been bald his whole life. He looks like the type.
Thanks.
Have you guys seen the meme where like it's like when I see my dad as like a little boy, it's just a dad but just like miniature. Andrew, we're talking about AI, and Julia mentioned some stuff around guidelines. I'm like, too bad Andrew's not on here to talk his book. So, do you want to give the spiel
about guidelines?
Yes, guidelines and underwriting something.
No, I mean, I hate talking about guidelines. Quite frankly,
the actual like context here is that I was expressing my frustration with underwriting scenario desks when we're in an age that we've got AI.
Well, so here's the problem, right? Is and we've seen this across the industry. Mace is already laughing at me.
I just that was such a Gen X. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, Boomer. Back in my day,
it was all manual underwriting. Damn it, there was no AUS. Dinosaurs roamed the earth. No, so here's what I agree with you 100%, right? Like there's literally no reason if you don't have an AI assisted underwriting scenario desk, it makes absolutely no sense to me. And sorry, yes, I will plug. We do a lot more than I always joke that I'm tired of talking about guidelines because we do so much more because we're really enterprise search, right? Now, of course, I've been in the mortgage industry for 25 years. So just naturally we fell into guidelines, right? Like that was something we had a client bring to us after we had really started. It was Veris. And they were like, hey, could you do guidelines? And we like jumped in and we were like, yeah, sure. Like, and then we tried to rag them and we were like, oh shit, this didn't work. And because RAG just cannot process matrices, right? So we see all these people who have like GPT and Claude wrappers, and all they're doing is uploading the guidelines, which all Anthropic or OpenAI is doing is ragging those guidelines. And so what do you get? You get about an 85, if you're lucky, 90% accuracy rate, right? We were really fortunate because our first client was like, no, it has to be at like 98. And that was all they were willing to accept. And so we spent months figuring out specific scripts to pull in that data to get to, because an underwriting scenario desk is kind of worthless if you're not, I would say above 96, 97%. But even then, what we did was we built a AI assisted help desk.
Yeah.
Where you can actually manage all of your scenarios that are all answered by an AI, but then reviewed by a human. So it's 100% human in the loop. If you want that, where it's like, I'm getting the benefit. But the nice thing is anytime you're like, yeah, that's the perfect answer to that question, you just hit send and complete, and that question gets automated. going forward. So you don't have to like jump in immediately, but you at least get that benefit like right out of the gate while still staying fairly conservative, which I understand, you know, people want to be. But again, I think part of the problem, and we've heard this from, and I'm not trying to trash talk anybody specifically, but we have heard this time and time again where we come in and we're like the third vendor, and people are like, yeah, we just can't, like, we can't accept 80 to 85% from an accuracy perspective.
Okay, so what about the lenders who have a unique philosophical approach and interpret things a little more loosely? Is there room for them?
Yeah, 100%. So that's all in the context.
Mhm.
And so we build the context in the back end. So we have a fairly large bank as a client. You're not, unfortunately, but you know how banks are. They're not allowed to ever give testimonials, which I hate because they're one of our biggest fans. But they have very, very specific context that we basically add into the engine, right? Where it's like, okay, we treat X as Y, because to your point, there's a lot of gray, even when it comes to agency fallback, right? So that's the other piece we had to figure out, was the multi-agent orchestration. And how do I fall back to, like, okay, it's silent in my non-QM guidelines, which means I fall back to Fannie. Well, again, you have to control that context, right? Sure. In order for it to fall back. But this is also why like generic foundation models or wrappers just don't work, because you have to be able to give that context component, because I mean, as you know, Julia, it's everything to have that component, because every single shop is completely different. I mean, we see it like firsthand. Yes. Every shop is completely different in the way that they look at things. And if you can't capture that context, and that's why we did like this is turning out to be an Ask Bob commercial, clearly. But that's why we built the human in the loop component, right? Because it was like, the reality is like, you're not necessarily always going to get what it is that you want, right? And that can be little things. That could be like tone, that could be conciseness,
sure,
like, you know, all of those pieces. But again, it comes down to like the data that gets fed into it, right? And if you're not dealing with, and I'm not saying you need to like use us, but you need to be working with someone. I would say this: if you can't call your AI provider, you've probably got a problem.
You got to talk to the AI agent.
No, but I mean, my point being is like, if I want to contact somebody at Anthropic, like I have to fill out a Google form.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like I use Anthropic. Like I don't, this is not me like shit posting on foundational models. But when you really need to get specific to your organization, I really think you need to have an AI provider that you can pick up the phone and call, unless you've got some amazing team. But you know, perfect example of great providers out there is FCM. And you know, what Keith Cantor is doing over there from an AI perspective is absolutely amazing. But Keith will tell you they go outside. They're not 100% internal. Like Danny, who runs the IT group or the technology group over there, who's absolutely fantastic. I got a chance to meet him the other week. Even he'll tell you, he's like, there's stuff that we can do really well, and we can work with foundational models, and we feel really comfortable. And there are other areas like where we have to go outside and go to other people. Okay, so that I shut up, I have a question for you, which is, what are you seeing in the market? Stop it, Mace. What do you see? You listen, y'all started me. What are you seeing in the market just from a general adoption perspective? So I've been doing this since 2022. The first few years, it was like everybody wanted to talk about it, but nobody wanted to do anything. This year seems to be a big change. What have you seen?
Yeah, I think everybody wanted to talk about it, but not do anything, or like go all in, right? And so what I'm seeing now are more like targeted pilots that make sense before we go all in AI in every direction. I do think that it is company to company there is like a lot more of like an openness to, we're going to leverage AI to improve our processes, to improve our timing, to make better decisions, not outright to replace people anymore. Like I'm not hearing that narrative as much. Like we know AI is taking jobs, blah, blah, blah. We're done kind of talking about that. And now we're talking about like, how are we leveraging it in a way that helps the top line and bottom line and our people and our customers simultaneously. And it seems like there is more acceptance now than there has been in the past.
So can I ask you a question real quick on that? Because I finally saw someone on LinkedIn put, it was in a totally different industry.
Yeah.
Why does nobody talk about revenue expansion from AI? Everybody wants to talk about job loss. Nobody wants to talk about, like, we were talking to somebody the other week who, like, they have this amazing transaction management team. Like, they have 3 of the best people. And we were like, if we come in, you only need 1. Well, why don't you expand your business? If all of a sudden I can 10x my best people, like, why are you looking at like, who do I cut? Like, why aren't you thinking of like, how do I make more money?
Everybody's been turtling for the last 4 years, 5 years, as it is, right? Like a lot of the industry right now is operating out of a place of fear and not expansion, right? And I'm not saying that's the right thing. I'm just saying I think that's the default operating model that a lot of people are on right now in our industry.
It's just amazing to me because, like, if you have an incredible, and again, I know I give Keith Canner and FCM a ridiculous amount of love, but it's a perfect example where he was like, listen, let's just figure out, like, we have awesome people. Let's 10x our awesome people and like, let's see what happens, right? Instead of getting rid of people, you know, let me really empower the great people that I have.
Just
I
is
like-
about to go.
What'd you say?
All right, I walk into this.
I've got a baby, baby screaming right now. It's hard for me to focus. Yeah, I definitely feel like they got burned really hard in 23, late 22, no, 23. And I think there's some whiplash effect there. Although it is funny how, you know, when times are tough, every mortgage CEO tells you times are cyclical. When times are great, nobody says that shit. They're like, like, I remember at the ICE conference in 2022, it was early February. I was in the room when, and the president of the NBA was basically just telling me these numbers. And I told Sean we were not doing any distributions. We were stopping all spending, all this. And he was like, dude, come on, man. Like, and he's looked back and he's like, you were a genius. And I was like, no, I don't know how many more people didn't just look at the president and the NBA saying it's burning down this year. And everybody went, oh, whatever. And just kept going. And they all got surprised. I was like, he like just told us it was going to be like less than half. And he's an optimistic guy. And I was like, why didn't everybody else see
I wish I would have seen that speech.
in the archive? It was 2022.
I had Goldman. I mean, I'll never forget the first quarter of 2022. I had like Goldman, Morgan Stanley. It's next quarter.
Yeah, sure.
So you are seeing that people are becoming a little bit more measured, though, in their adoption, and are a little bit more thoughtful about it right now.
I am. Are you?
Yes. The other thing that I'm noticing, though, is that people seem stretched very thin to do anything. Right? Like we've had people who are like, "Oh my God, yeah, we want to use you. You want to use you." Like, and I know they're sincere, but it's like the sales cycle is like obnoxiously long. Is what I would say, and it's not. I mean, I don't fault anyone. It seems like the industry is running a little bit thin on bandwidth. Hey!
Hi.
First podcast debut, I guess.
Oh, I am so the right person to have the baby on the podcast with. Hi. Look at his eyes.
Oh yeah, he's a big smiley baby. Sorry, I could not deal with
No,
that.
no, come on. Now the show will actually get
3 ball dudes on the call. He's a mortgage guy already.
Okay, so we're almost at time. What is our question, PK?
Did we give Julia the prep that she's gonna? Julia, you're going to be asking a question for the next guest.
Does anybody know who the next guest is?
No.
Andrew's not doing a very good job these days.
We could actually have a next guest.
Okay.
Really?
Question.
Actually, I'm going to make LaDonna Locker get on here soon. So how about you ask her a question, Julia, since I know you know her.
Okay. What was my question? Who was the last guest, and what question did they serve up?
That would have been Josh Bopp. I wasn't here. Did you get a question from Josh Bopp?
We did, but I'm reading it. I'm like, I'm not sure if it makes sense. Chris, does this make sense to you? Are you seeing the question?
Oh, because he was asking the question of Nomi Smith.
Right.
I'm gonna ask. I got a question for you, Julie.
Okay, sure.
Is it? I'm sure I'm screwing up your name right now, but oh well.
It's just Julia.
Huh?
It's just Julia.
Oh, well, you misspelled it then, or is that how you spell it?
No, I misspelled it.
Okay, I was like this whole time. I'm
Can I
like,
respell it?
I was sitting here going,
but
I
maybe
don't think
not.
it's pretty easy to say Julia, Andrew.
Right, but it says Jula. Jula.
It's funny. No, I was thinking,
From
like,
here on out, I'm just gonna call her
Jula.
Jula.
I like that too. All right, so the question.
What is the one thing you think nobody is building that you wish somebody was building? In the mortgage space, AI, technology.
It's like such a pie in the sky dream that I don't know that it's even like worth.
I love pie in the sky.
Yeah, tell me so I can go build it.
Okay, this would be like a product for the consumer, where the consumer does their own application, pulls their own credit, does their VOA, VOE, VOD, all of it, has a digital package, press button, send it to every lender, and then get back the top 3 to 5.
Didn't somebody try to do that? Wasn't that what
Brett Chandler, is that who you're thinking of? With
yeah,
Password?
thank you. Whatever
think-
happened to that guy, by the way?
Brent,
Is he okay?
I texted him the other day and he texted me back.
He's like vanished off the face of the planet,
Ask
though,
him where
right?
he's at on that product, because I think that'd be incredible.
Yeah, there was the form free with the
Did they sell that? Is that what they sold?
the coins. Well, he sold account check, but form free still
Account check.
doing.
Okay, form
But
free.
that consumer platform where you have
Where,
like
where did he go? He was like on. I mean, I used to see him all the time, all over the place. I haven't seen him.
he got money.
That'll do it.
There you go. So what are you saying? All of us are still broke?
You give me crap for not posting on LinkedIn.
Fair enough.
But I do think that would be, it would have like some consequences to our industry that maybe would be tough for
like
people to deal with. But I do think
I love that idea. I just had my sister-in-law call me today. I called on the phone with her earlier and she started crying because the lender she was with, the agent told her nobody switches lenders. You're not allowed to. Then the lender said, the agent said that. The lender said, I'm going to charge you for your appraisal. The appraisal hasn't been done yet. They said that this was like a marriage divorce. Where did this come from? They also said appraisals can't be transferred. All these things. And it was just, basically made her feel dumb for giving a higher purchase price with more seller credit. And I was like, it's 6s. You can do a principal reduction if you want later. But she just like, I felt really stupid. And I was like, we're shopping. We're going somewhere else. So needless to say, she's applied and got disclosures from Momentum today. So
good.
But they make them feel afraid to shop, and these are people that know mortgage people,
Yeah, and that tagline of like when banks compete, you win. Like that's not actually what was happening as a result. Like you're just getting peppered to death, right? Like just fill it out one time. Here is me. Show me what you got. I think that would be a really nice change of pace in our industry for the American people.
Also, at that point, the consumer owns their data too, right? I think that's also their angle there as well.
What a foreign concept.
I also like the idea of like plugging this into a dating app potentially, so you know what you're getting yourself into.
Look, this dude's rocking a 400 credit score with 2 BKs and 90-day lates. No way.
Nope. Swipe I don't know. I don't.
Your
I don't know what
credit
you
profile on Tinder. Is that where we're going?
That was.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are like way over, but Julia, I'm sorry I didn't get to spend more time. We're gonna have to chat again after this. So I apologize for being late, but we'll have to bring you back.
Yeah, we had to
Chris,
have you back.
thanks for bringing the little guy.
Of
Yes.
course.
That'll make everybody. Now we'll actually get followers, maybe.
Oh my goodness! Look at those baby eyes.
And we'll see everybody here back next week. I don't actually know who our guest is going to be next week because
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure
I'll
it out.
start watching now. Now that I've been on it, I'll start watching. And then you can microscope at some point too.
that's what it is, folks.
Okay,
Only
we're
only
doing
prior guests watch this show.
we're doing an engagement with Julia right now. She's in the space and she's work for hire. She's going to advise us on our next guest. Okay, so we'll engage her for that. Get our next guest.
There you go, Joe. Let me know who I'm talking to next week.
Perfect.
Awesome.
you guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you back here next week, episode 53.